Hey everybody, it's Karina from Paradigm Thrifts. I am back with a Q&A for you guys. I am really excited. I've been wanting to film one of these for a while, so I asked you guys on Instagram and in some Facebook groups that I'm in what kind of questions you guys had, and I'm going to answer them all for you guys today. But before I do that, I just want to make a little bit of an announcement. If you guys follow me on Instagram or follow Poshmark on Instagram, you guys might have already seen, but I am so happy to announce that I am one of Poshmark's Heart and Hustle $5,000 grant winners. I'm seriously still in shock. I can't even believe that this happened. I have had to keep this secret for a few weeks now. I've known for a little while, but today we can finally announce it, and I am just absolutely blown away by the support and all the love that I've been shown today. Thank you guys so much. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys. I wouldn't be where I am without this cute community. I do want to make a video in a little while talking about how I'm going to be spending the money, so if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. You guys can subscribe down below to be notified when I do make that video. And if you guys have any questions about like how I'm going to be spending it or what I plan to do, you guys can ask those as well down in the comments. But anyway, let's get into it. I want to film more of these Q&As as well, so if you guys have any questions for me just in general, leave those down below and I will be sure to include them in my next video. So the first question that I have actually came from a Facebook group that I'm in, and it is from user Mrs. Banana Brown on Instagram, or The Real Image on Posh. And she asks, what are your must-have items to take with you when thrifting or sourcing? I love this question. The number one thing that I bring when I go sourcing is my phone. I have to have my phone fully charged so that I can check comps while I'm out sourcing. But also, when I have my daughter with me, my phone is a really good distraction for her so that she can watch YouTube while I'm sourcing and she won't be all over the place running around. I also use my phone to listen to music or to listen to audiobooks while I'm sourcing. And this particular case is really important for me too. This is by Bandolier. It used to say Bandolier there, but I've just been using it so much. It actually comes with a strap that you can connect right here. I'll have to insert like another photo of me wearing it because I don't have the strap on me right now, but pretty much it has these hooks on the side. You can connect a strap to it. You can also connect like a little pouch to it. They have a whole bunch of different accessories. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just absolutely love this brand, but it also holds all of my cards in here. So I don't like carrying purses. I hate purses. So this is definitely a lifesaver when I go sourcing. I just have it strapped on, or if I don't use a strap, I just put my phone in my pocket, and it has everything that I need. Another necessity for when I go thrifting is, of course, my business debit card. I think it's really important to have a separate business account for reselling where you can get your deposits in and you can use it to go sourcing. One of my favorite business account options is actually Chime. This is my Chime card here. It is an online bank, so there are no physical locations. Chime advertises that you can get your deposits up to 2 days early. In my experience, I've been able to get Poshmark deposits same day, and even my Mercari deposits, since those do take a little bit longer, have taken like 2 days instead of 5. So I highly recommend Chime if you guys are in need of a separate account for reselling. If you guys use my link down below to sign up for Chime, we can both earn $50 if you do a $200 direct deposit, and yes, Poshmark deposits do count as the direct deposit. So if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to leave them below or DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help you guys out on that. We can both earn some extra money to go sourcing. Another necessity, especially when I do my like longer thrift hauls, like when I drive into Portland, is beverages. I have my hydro flask right here, so I fill this up with water and I'm just constantly sipping on this all day. And then of course getting coffee, whether it's at Starbucks or like a local coffee house. Caffeine is definitely a necessity. The next question comes from Laura from one of my Facebook groups. She asks, how much time on average do you spend each week looking for items to sell? I honestly don't really know the answer to this, like specifically. I go sourcing about 1 to 2 times a week, and it differs whether I go into Portland, and that's like an 8 hour, trip per day, opposed to if I go to like local thrift stores, that's about like a 1 to 2 hour thing. So I guess on average, I'd say maybe like 5 hours a week, and that's physically sourcing. I also do a lot of sourcing online, so I am constantly looking for deals on Poshmark and on Mercari, on ThreadUp. I just have alerts on my phone for when certain things are listed, like on Mercari. When it comes to Poshmark, I kind of just open it up whenever I have a few spare moments to just check on brands and see the just-in items. I couldn't tell you exactly how many hours I spend on that. It's probably a lot, but I feel like that's a really good way to get inventory. And if you're like me and you're a parent who can't just constantly go sourcing, being home with my daughter and being able to look for inventory online definitely helps. The next question comes from Tiffany Greer on Instagram, and she asks, how do you run your business with a little one? I have a 3-year-old and it's tough. Tips appreciated. My daughter just turned 4, so I definitely feel it. However, I have to be one of the luckiest parents because my daughter loves to go sourcing with me, and she's very well behaved at the thrift store. Like I mentioned earlier, I usually just give her my phone and she's occupied. I know there are parents out there who are anti-YouTube or anti-phone, and that's totally fine. Everybody has their own ways of parenting, but usually if I don't give her my phone, I'll tell her, like, if we walk through the store and mommy finishes her shopping, then afterwards we can go look at the toys, and she usually is totally fine with that. As for working here at home, I do have a lot of help. My fiance is amazing. He also works from home and never hesitates to watch her or keep her occupied while I'm doing things like filming or photographing or anything. We also live really close to my fiance's grandmother, who also watches Ryan, our daughter, whenever she asked to go to grandma's house. But yeah, I have a lot of help. I also try to include her whenever I can. So if I am taking photos, sometimes I'll just let her sit in here and play with her toys and do whatever she wants to do. She just likes to be near me around the action. She'll even say, like, mommy's working and I'm working, and she'll just play with her toys. I know that it can be difficult, but I'm also looking forward to when she starts school or like some sort of daycare thing so that I can really buckle down on work. But any tips that I have are just to try to include your kids. Let them see that you are always prioritizing them rather than prioritizing your job. I think that from a parenting point of view, it can be easy to get frustrated when your kids want to be around you when you're trying to work. But I think one of the things that I've learned is that she's watching me work and build this thing that is ultimately for her. I do all this work so that I can stay with her, so that I can provide for her, and just I think her being able to see that is really important. This next question comes from Instagram as well. It is, what is the hardest thing about reselling? I feel like this question could go a few ways. The hardest thing about reselling for me is probably the financial aspect of it. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I could say something like, I hate sharing, which I do, but you guys already know I have a solution for that. It's Posture VA, in case you guys are curious. But yeah, definitely the financials. I think that before I separated my bank accounts and had a separate account for my business for reselling, I was just kind of mixing all my money around, and it made it really difficult for me to differentiate what I could spend on the business and what I had available to pay for bills and just for like me. Learning that and kind of coming to terms with the fact that I had to limit myself on what I could spend in my business was really difficult for me. And I feel like nobody really talks about that. I'm still learning. I don't think that I'm like an expert with my money management or anything like that, but I've definitely gotten a lot better, and it's something that I'm still working on. The book that I just finished reading is called Profit First, and it goes really in depth about how you should be managing your money in a business. So if you guys are interested, I can do kind of like a deep dive on that book. I guess overall the hardest thing about reselling for me is the financial aspect of it. And to counter that, another question that we got was, what's the best part of your job? And I think lately I've been leaning into this a little bit more, but it's having the freedom to not have to work. Like, I'm not tied down to a 9 to 5. I don't have to go into an office to work. I can wake up at 11 a.m. I can wake up at 5 a.m. I can go have breakfast with my family and then come back and work, or I can, you know, work and then do something later at night. I have so much flexibility with this job, and I can stay home with my family. I can take a vacation whenever I want. Obviously that just means that I have to move things around, but having that flexibility, not having to answer to anybody else, is such a blessing. And that's probably one of the things that I struggled with most at a regular job, is not having that freedom to take time off when I needed to or when I wanted to. But that's definitely, I think, the best thing about this job. The next question is biggest accomplishment. In reselling, I think my biggest accomplishment has been going full-time with this. I kind of mentioned this in my Heart and Hustle campaign video, but I was moving to transition into full-time reselling with the cafe as our main source of income, but when that was shut down, I was kind of forced into reselling full-time, and it was tough. There were so many factors that made it not the easiest thing, and I think the fact that I just kind of stuck to it, and I faced some really hard truths about my finances and about how much work I had to do to keep this business afloat. I was able to face that and really overcome all of it, and here we are about a year later, and I'm thriving. I'm really happy with this job. I know that there's still a lot of more growth opportunity for me out there, but I'm really proud of myself for making it this far. I was just thinking about this the other day, but like when I was 18 and applying to go to colleges, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no clear path or career path that I wanted to follow. I actually applied to different colleges with different majors, and I just was like, okay, whatever college I get accepted to, that's the career that I'm gonna do. And long story short, I ended up going to a community college for business management, but I never really thought that this is where my life would end up, or this is what I would end up doing. And I know I'm still young, I still have a whole life ahead of me, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to be reselling, but as of right now, I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this business that I've built, this life that I have, and yeah. Very happy with that. And the last question for today is, do you see yourself living in Oregon for a while, or do you consider moving? Honestly, me and my fiance have this conversation so often. We were actually just talking about it this morning. We're not sure. I think we're going to be staying in Oregon at least for 2021, we know we're going to be in Oregon. I don't know after that what the plans are. We are both the kind of people who just go with the flow, wherever life takes us. We are willing to go and do whatever we need to. And that's kind of like how we ended up here in Oregon. I never thought I would leave California. I thought I was going to live there for my whole life, and then some quick decision just had us moving here in less than a month. So, I mean, I truly don't know. I love it here, and I can see myself being here for a little while longer, but I'm open to any opportunities out there or whatever the universe has in store for us. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. I love filming this. I think it's so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions for my next video, leave them down below and I will be sure to include them in my next Q&A. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!